Hello everyone, it's me, Henry Boxtel. Welcome to my channel, Troubleshooting with Henry. Let's rumble! I like a good comedy, but also keep it PG-13. Today's guest is Sarah McVie. Sarah is an actor, writer, and educator with a lifelong involvement in creative pursuits and a love of the arts. Sarah started acting at a young age, taking acting classes at the Ottawa School of Speech and Drama. She attended Canterbury Arts High School in Ottawa, then George Brown Theatre School in Toronto. Sarah began her professional career performing for 5 seasons at the Stratford Festival of Canada in many productions, including King Lear and Pericles and Macbeth. She was a member of the 2001 Stratford Conservatory for classical theater training and the recipient of the John Hirsch Award for Most Promising Young Actor. She has appeared on theater stages across the country and in a number of films and television series, and is most well known for her character Val on the CBC show Workin' Moms, available on Netflix. She lives with her 2 dogs, Coco and Morgan, and together they make their home in Toronto. Hi, Sarah, and welcome to Troubleshooting with Henry, the interviews. I've got 10 questions for you. Are you ready to get started?
Hi, Henry. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm ready.
So, question 1. When you were a kid, what did you want to do as a grown up?
Henry, when I was a kid, I wanted to do so many things, all the things. That was part of, I think, what led me to a career as an actor, where I get to pretend to do a million different things. I know for a long time I wanted to be a doctor or a scientist or something that had to do with science and medicine, that kind of research and lab work. But then that sort of drifted away, and I really liked the idea of being a writer and traveling the world. Um, and that sort of drifted away. And I thought about being like a teacher, a full time teacher, because I have a lot of teachers in my family. But then when the time came and I had finished high school, really, I felt pulled. There was nothing I could do. I felt pulled to go study acting and become an actor.
What is your career now?
Well, my career now is a mix of acting. That's sort of the predominant thing I'm doing. And then I do some teaching, which I really, really enjoy for a whole bunch of other reasons. And then I'm writing as well and creating. So I did write and staged a play called The Public Servant with some other women. We collectively created it. And I got a taste for how exciting it is to see a piece from the idea all the way to the script, to the staging, to the production. So I'd love to do something like that again. But really, it's acting, teaching, writing. Those are my 3 jobs.
Is it hard sometimes to know what hat you're wearing?
100%, Henry. It's so funny you say that because I just had a winter of doing auditions for all different kinds of roles. So I was wearing my actor hat, but I was also teaching, and sometimes both in the same day. And so I couldn't tell if I should just let myself go into the role or if I should be standing outside of it critiquing, which is what I do as a teacher. I was really mixed up, and I'm getting better at it, but it's tough to switch those hats, especially if it's on the same day.
What's the worst job you've ever had, and why was it so bad?
The worst job I've ever had was recently. So this is the thing about being an actor. I mean, I say I'm an actor, teacher, writer, but there's been times where I didn't have any work and I needed to pay my rent. So even just recently, 2 years ago, I was working as a house cleaner. And I don't mind cleaning my own mess, but I'll tell you, it really was not fun cleaning other people's messes. So, and one time, I'll tell you the worst time, someone had left the apartment really bad. And I went into the bathroom, and I like cleaning the bathroom because you can get it really sparkling clean. But I didn't realize that the toilet had a bidet. Do you know what a bidet is?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize as I was cleaning it, and I was almost done the whole place, and I accidentally turned the bidet on, and the water went right into my face and
Oh,
behind me into the freshly cleaned apartment. So I had to kind of start all over. I had had enough of cleaning for a while. I might go back to it, but that was the hardest job.
I can see that.
But can you feel that wet bidet water all over you?
Yes, because I've accidentally turned it on, not realizing.
It's so easy to do. I want to get one for my own, house toilet, but I do worry about the accidental explosion.
Okay, let's move on. Did you go to college or university? And if so, what did you study there?
I did. I went to college. And at the time, that was a bit of a bone of contention with some of the adults in my life. They really thought I should be going to a university to get a university degree. But the reason I wanted to go to this college is that it was an intensive, hands on, what they call a conservatory style acting training program, which meant lots of physical work like dance lessons and, of course, scene study, dialect work, the nuts and bolts of the actor's toolbox, the kind of the tools that I need to work with. So I did that for 3 years and I got a diploma of theater performance.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
What got you interested in the job you have now?
It's so hard to figure out, looking back on my life, where the moment was. I don't think there was one moment where I thought, actor, that's what I'll do. It was a series, it was sort of a slow burn through time. But I guess when I really thought, oh, maybe I could do this like to make money for a living, was when I started going to the Ottawa School of Speech and Drama, a school that employed really professional actors that were working in Ottawa, where I was living at the time. So, real working artists were teaching me. And so I had a connection, like a direct connection to working actors. And I didn't come from a family of artists, I came from a family of public servants and teachers. So, to have that connection, firsthand connection with people that were actually doing it for a living, that's when my mind went, oh, okay, this is something I would really like to do if it's possible. So that school, which is sadly doesn't exist anymore, was a huge influence in my life. It was just an after school, once, I think it was once a week, a couple of hours studying whatever, all kinds of things to do with acting. And once a year, we would do like a big staged play. And again, directed by professionals in the community. So that really blew my mind.
Sounds like that was a very exciting time in your life.
One of them,
What do you find most challenging about your job?
okay, I have to be honest here. I would say, even though I work really hard at it, because I've been doing this for quite a while now, I still find the disappointments hard. There are a lot of disappointments because there's a lot of people that want the same role and a lot of really good people. And so the competition is fierce. And most of the time you don't get the role. And so that's something you have to really grapple with is the letdown of it. Some people call it rejection. I don't like to think about it like that anymore. I think about it as just, it wasn't meant for me, that role. But you get your heart set on an idea. You have an audition for something, you work so hard, you do a good job, and then it's a no. It's hard. It's hard. It's a little letdown. So I guess I find the hardest thing about the job is self-motivating. and digging deep for that sort of like resilience to, well, I'm going to keep going, even if it didn't work out that time, on to the next project, the next role, um, and seeing the long game of it, that something will come, eventually.
Yeah, that's a really a positive outlook.
I sort of had to be positive if I was going to do this for a living. I didn't want to sort of be sad all the time. So that's one thing that I identified as needing work is sort of like, water off a duck's back, shaking off any kind of disappointment or letdown and moving on. Not always easy, not always easy still, but working on it and it's gotten way better.
I think from personal experience, I think that having multiple things that you're really good at might actually help you in landing more roles. Like if you are good at acting, but you're also good at stage combat, like knowing what to do and having those skills would get you more results.
You are 100% correct. And I have tried to diversify my skill set for the last, 2 decades. Um, there's some things I just can't do. That like for everyone. I remember once in an audition, a director asked me if I knew how to stilt walk, and I immediately said, "Sure, yeah." Even though I had only done it once at camp when I was like 10, you know and then at the end of the day, I couldn't stilt walk, really, not like some real people can really stilt walk, so I had to kind of let that go. And we laughed about it. I ended up working with that director, and I said that was sort of silly when I said I could stilt walk, wasn't it? But you, as an actor, you just go, yes, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it all. But of course the reality is, you know it's not possible to do all the things, but I do try to do as many as possible.
Can you give me an example of a time you had to troubleshoot an issue with your job or your personal life and the solution you came up with?
You know what, Henry? There's been so many in my career. I mean, the nature of live theater, which that was the bulk of my career has been in live theater. But even in TV, you're dealing with human beings, you're dealing with the weather, the environment, technology. There's going to be problems, and there have been many. But the story that sticks out to me when you ask me that question was my very first professional job right out of theater school was Shakespeare in the Park. And I was playing the smallest character in the play, Ursula, in Much Ado About Nothing. Ursula is a lady in waiting to one of the main characters. Just a tiny little role, but I had developed this character with an English accent, very proper young woman. I enjoyed playing it, and I was so eager. I knew everybody's lines in the play. Like, I knew the play backwards and forwards. It was my first job, right? So I was really excited. Well, opening night, we get called to our places, which is what actors get right before we're about to go on. So we all got called to places, and one of the women playing a bigger character, Margaret, took ill. She was in so much pain. She said, I can't go on. And this is like the show is about to start, and it's opening night, which means all the reviewers are there, and there's going to be a party after. So this actress said, I can't go on. And everyone started to panic. And then I realized I know all the lines. There's only one time that we're together on stage. Like, really quickly in my mind, I figured out, you know what? I could do that character and my character and make them one character. I think it could work. We just have to change this one little moment. And the stage manager said, that's it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So I went on as a mashup between the character I had developed and this other character and did all the lines for both characters. And I ended up doing that for the rest of the run because that actress, she's fine. She wasn't like really, really ill, but she couldn't do the rest of that run of the show. So that was like one of my proudest moments of quick thinking, having done my work, knowing the whole play, right? And watching other people's work, not because I thought I was going to take their role, but just because I was appreciating working as an actor for the first time and really taking in the world around me. And it sure served us on opening night because it saved the show. And I had a lot of fun.
On one note, well done for realizing something was wrong. And I'm really uh, proud of you on the fact that you already knew the show and knew what you had to do to solve that problem.
Thank you. Thanks. That was, yeah, it was exciting.
What do you find most rewarding about your career?
What I find most rewarding about my career, it's definitely the people. Both the people that I work with, artists are infinitely fascinating. The administrators of theater and film are incredible and necessary, and I adore them. Their love of the art form, it feeds me. So the people that are in the scenes with me, the people behind the scenes, the designers I get to work with, like just fascinating people surrounding me in this line of work. And then on top of that, the audience who are just lovely. The appreciative audience who, um, that like for TV, because I've been doing TV lately, and you don't get the applause that you get in theater where the audience appreciated it because they applause for you. But sometimes I get stopped in the street, like it happened the other day in a park. A young woman, probably maybe 20, probably a teenager, was like, "Wait a second, are you? I think are you Val from Working Moms?" And just like, "I love the show and I love your character and you've gotten me through some hard times," she says to me, because it's a comedy. That means everything. That is what I love best about my job. And you know what's exciting too with audience, just thinking about the audience, there's such a wide range of age and background. Like it's not just women that love the show. There are men too. Well, tons of men. I get stopped by men too who love it. So because sometimes people, because it has the word moms in the title, they think it's just for women or for moms, or female identifying. It's for everyone.
So, Sarah, is there any organization that you want to give a shout out to?
Yes, there is one. With summer coming up, I am thinking about the 10 Oaks Project. That is an organization that creates safe spaces and opportunities for play and the camping experience, summer camp for kids. And it's for the 2SLGBTQ plus community. So really like that organization, 10 Oaks Project.
Okay, that's awesome. So, what do you do for fun?
For fun. Oh boy. Really, so many things. So many things. Most of my fun really has to do with my dogs. And now
Uh,
I just got a second one. I've had one for Coco, my first for, she's turning 8 this year. And Morgan, the baby, he's going to be 7 months soon. So I love doing things with my dogs. Like I love going to the park, simple things, long walks. They're sort of the centerpiece of my fun life.
oh yeah. Good morning.
Good Morgan. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Good Morgan. I'm gonna start saying that to him. Good Morgan, Morgan. Thank you.
I know enough German to come up with good lines like that. Yeah.
Do you want to see my dogs?
Yes, please.
This is Coco. She's the one who's turning 8.
Oh my god, that is so cute.
And just had her hair done.
Oh my god, she's so cute.
And then would you like to see the baby? Hold on.
Yeah.
Now, Morgan. Good Morgan. He just had his surgery, so he's got the cone on. Oh, there's a big yawn. The cone on his head.
Yeah.
Mr. Conehead.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
He is really cute. He's just tiny little guy. Yeah.
So, last question.
Oh, okay.
If someone was visiting the city where you live, what would you recommend they see?
Well, Toronto. Toronto is full of so many cool things. I have to pick just one.
You can pick more than one if you want. Like that's
No, I gotta
generic question.
generic question. Well, I live in Toronto. I recently bought a house here. So now I've really committed to this city, which I love. And I've loved it since I was 16 years old. And I came for a spring break with a friend, and we went to Kensington Market and went vintage shopping and, got tacos. And there's so many cool places. But I think if I had to choose one Toronto sort of spot to check out, it's the island, Toronto Island. Have you ever been to Toronto Island?
No.
You take a ferry across, and people live over there on part of it. In fact, my grandmother lived on the island in the 1950s before she got married. But Toronto Island, you take a ferry or you hire a boat to take you over. There's a water taxi. You can take your bike over there and bike around the island. I mean, it's got indigenous historical significance as a ceremonial and burial site. It's got people who actually make their residence there. They actually live there, and tons of green space. There are beaches on the other side of it, looking out on Lake Ontario. You feel like you're, looking out at an ocean. The other part that's really cool is that you get that view of the city, right? Looking back at the city from the water is really neat. So you see the Toronto skyline, and of course the iconic CN Tower. Yeah, I would say the Toronto Island is a neat place to go visit.
That seems like something I might do at some point when we're allowed to travel again. All right. Thanks for being on my show.
Well, thanks for having me. What a cool honor to be a part of your show.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
And I really enjoyed it.
Great.
Oh, yeah. I'm really impressed with how Sarah problem solved under pressure. It was her first professional job right out of college. Everything seemed to be going according to plan. And then one of the lead actors drops a bomb on opening night. Just before the play was about to start, the actor said, "I can't do this. I'm sorry. I'm in so much pain." Everyone started to panic. What did Sarah do? She stayed calm, thought it through, and came up with a solution. She wasn't afraid to speak up. Her quick thinking saved the show. Sarah kept a cool head, had memorized the entire play, and kept her wits about her. She was able to continue, even under extreme stress. It reminds me of how important it is to keep your head up and take in your surroundings. As Sarah said, if she hadn't, she wouldn't have been prepared to step into the role. I often see people walking on the streets plugged in on a device, head down, or earphones in and on. They seem to be living on autopilot. They're not paying attention to what's going on around them. That can be dangerous, especially if you're traveling. And also, you can miss out on some really cool experiences and opportunities. So, do the work, be prepared, and keep your head up. Take in your surroundings, you never know what might happen. To learn more about the organization that Sarah mentioned, or to make a donation, you can go to 10oaksproject.org. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe below. And as always, special thanks to Johnny Flynn for giving us permission to use his beautiful music. Happy travels!
Is waiting for you.